Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's Zane JJ. Today I come back a video basically talking about cryptocurrency, and of course in this video itself it's not like some updates on some project itself, but of course if let's say you're looking to basically be fully invested into cryptocurrency but you are unsure on like what kind of coins, how do you determine like good projects or whatsoever, this video itself is definitely for you. And of course I would say that on this video itself I'm going to basically give you 3 tips that I use personally to determine a crypto project if I want to invest in it or not, slash doing my own due diligence on the space itself is just barely the top 3 that I basically do normally. And of course I would say you can definitely add more tips or strategy that you want to basically um do your own due diligence better, and of course not get scammed by scammy project like those meme coin or whatsoever, those hype train. And of course I would say if you are investing into whatever space itself, this is the golden rule that I always tell myself itself: whatever I make, whatever I invested in for this 1 years, 4 years, or at least let's say 10 years itself, whatever returns that I'm gonna get itself, it is purely a full bonus. And I would say that because everything that I invested in, I will prepare myself telling myself that okay, so I'm gonna put 10,000 into this 10,000 can go to zero, and of course I'm always prepared for that. And of course in the future, if let's say I make some gains or whatsoever, I'm just gonna tell myself it is just a bonus. And of course it is not something that I expect, because when you expect something you will get disappointed very easily, because once the expectation is there, you are basically going to expect more and more and more if let's say your expectation is always hitting one target and after another. So I would tell myself do not expect much in investing, and of course it's just a learning journey for me, and of course hopefully to make my life better itself. But of course I would say that the crypto market is down, but nevertheless I'm always here and I'm here to stay in the crypto space. So without further ado, I'm gonna basically jump into the topic itself. If let's say you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on post notification, and leave a thumbs up to this video. And of course you can help me by supporting my Patreon, basically link down below. And of course without further ado, we're gonna basically talk about 3 ways to determine a good crypto project. So over here in the crypto space itself, we can see that there's like a lot of cryptocurrency, and after that from there it's the same as the stock market itself. You'll be thinking to yourself that okay, so there's like 8,000 over cryptocurrency project itself. And of course to talk about companies itself, there are millions and billions of companies out there, and of course from there which is the best. And of course from there you might be thinking that how can I invest into basically most of the project that I think that can basically 10x 20x. And of course you never know, like to be honest, in the early days itself Bitcoin started out, and after that nobody believed in it, and of course as of today it has like grew its value by I don't know a few thousand percentage in the media itself that they tell you. And of course for Binance itself, previously it was like $10-20 when I first got into the space. Eventually it went up to $300 over dollars. And of course we're gonna talk more and more about all these other projects itself. Dogecoin itself was one of the meme coin created, and of course somehow it went up to the moon itself. And of course we can look at like maybe some other coin itself, like maybe Ton itself. Ton coin itself is a Telegram coin. You might be thinking, okay, so previously nobody is talking about it, and after that from there there is somehow no hope about it. And of course you will be thinking that how can I basically know which coin is going to be the next idol, or basically a whatever is it, the hype train to basically make a 10x 20x in this market itself. So I would tell you, first of all, do not go chasing if let's say you already heard it in the media itself. If let's say many people are talking about a particular coin itself, probably it's not a, if let's say you listen to it and after that when you look at the price itself it went up like let's say 10% 20%, do you think it's a good time to basically dump your money in? If let's say you have already made some gains from somewhere else, and I would say that if you want to like to gamble into the situation itself, I would say definitely feel free to put in whatever you can afford to lose, and after that from there nothing more than you can afford to lose. That's the golden rule itself. And of course without further ado, I'm going to basically give you my first tip itself, talking about the coin that the coin itself. Let's say you see a project, and after that how do you determine like is this a good project? This is my first tip, that I always look at a coin before I invest into it. So number one itself is basically talking about the coin use case itself. So the use case itself is very simple to understand. Basically, if you know about Bitcoin, it's telling you that oh, it is created to be a peer-to-peer digital electronic cash to transfer wealth slash money. It's acting like a currency to transfer across the world. And of course, what's the problem that we need this coin itself? Talking about Bitcoin itself, first of all, the banking system itself, once you're going to do a transfer, it's going to take you like 3 to 4 working days, maybe a fuck tons of fee. Therefore Bitcoin is created, and after that from there it solves some issue. So there's a lot of other coins out there itself. Ethereum, we know the OG smart contract itself, talking about solutions like okay, Bitcoin can't really do much as a cryptocurrency which with smart contract itself. So Bitcoin is just purely sending funds and after receiving funds. And of course for Ethereum itself, it's created to basically tell people that okay, so Bitcoin is only sending funds and receive funds, but we can do much more with this blockchain. itself, and after that from there Ethereum is created to do smart contract itself, like maybe at the time of maybe on the 23rd of February or something like that. Every month on the 23rd itself, I'm gonna basically send some allowance to my kids or whatsoever. The Ethereum and the Ethereum chain itself enable that to happen because of the smart contract, and after that from there it is created. And of course, as of today, we can see that there's a lot of company that is basically trying to rebuild Ethereum, and after that telling you that this is gonna be the next Ethereum, this is gonna be the next Bitcoin. But to be honest itself, my own personal opinion itself in the space, Bitcoin Ethereum is always gonna be at the top, and after that regardless of what, because of the OGs, because if without Bitcoin itself, there's no Ethereum. Without Ethereum itself, there won't be other chains. So this is my belief. And of course, I'm going to scroll down itself. So what do I mean by the use case itself? So if you look at like maybe Matic itself, we might be thinking, okay, so Matic itself is quite a popular project. And after that, from there, what can I look out for? So first of all, the use case itself is basically reading the white paper, and after the researching on their website itself, telling you that maybe spending 30 minutes of your time to know what is this particular token that you want to invest / heard about it somewhere from your friends before you dump your money in. So if you scroll down itself, we can see that Polygon believes in the Web3 for all, and after that from there Polygon itself is decentralized, and after that scaling decentralized Ethereum scaling platform, and that enable developers to basically build a scalable and user-friendly DApp. So we can see that over here Polygon itself is trying to be a layer 2, and after that from there because Ethereum itself there's some issues, and they are trying to solve some issues that is lying on Ethereum itself, like the transaction fees and stuff like this. So over here we can see that low transaction fees without ever sacrificing on security. Therefore this Polygon itself is here Matic, and of course you want to look at maybe like other stats from this particular project itself. And of course, by use case itself, you must know that what is the problem that they are trying to solve, and after that, what is the problem that is existing on the current chain. So you have to be you have to do a little bit of understanding on the main project itself, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and after that, other than that, you can look up on like the US data, what is all the issue that is ongoing in the crypto space. So there's like this trilemma itself for the blockchain trilemma, basically telling you that you can't have security, and basically over here like security, decentralization, and scalability, you can't have all three itself. And after that, if let's say you choose security and decentralization, scalability is gonna be slowed down. And of course, if let's say you choose scalability and decentralization, security is therefore is an issue. So there's a lot of project out there is trying to solve this blockchain trilemma. And after that, from there, I would say that till today itself, many project has already like announced themselves telling you that they're gonna solve this, solve that. But it has already been years of distributing / like the project is already out there, has been ongoing for years, but therefore there's no results. But of course, people still throw their money in because this is investing, and of course you can't really be certain that your funds going into this particular project is gonna make a 10x 20x. But at the end of the day, luck itself plays a big part. I mean, like not a big part, but of course 20% of whatever you're gonna invest, definitely you need some luck in that. And of course, for this use case itself, we are going to talk about the white paper itself. From my understanding, white paper itself can be very exciting, and after that, from there, it can basically suddenly, when you're reading a white paper itself, you can imagine a dragon. But of course, at the end of the day, the use case itself is shown, and after that, from there, it's all projected out on paper itself. But on theory itself, when it's time to deliver itself, somehow some project managed to deliver maybe 90% of what they say, or even some worst case scenario only deliver 1% of what they say. Therefore, I would say use cases itself is one of the ways that I look at the project, and of course determine that should I invest into it. So if let's say I see the use case, and after that, from there, I see that they are basically trying to create something that is not even a problem, and I would say that this coin is no go. If let's say we look at like Polygon itself, we can see that okay, they are trying to solve the transaction issue on Ethereum itself, and after that, from there, trying to build something for the developer itself on the layer 2 network on Ethereum itself without sacrificing like much fees or whatsoever. And of course, Cardano itself is something similar. So over here, if let's say you see this type of coin that's trying to create something that is not an issue out there, and after believe me, 90% of the cryptocurrency out there is gonna tell you that there's a problem existing on whatever itself, and after that, from there, they are trying to solve it and be the best out of it. So secondly itself is the second tip that I go for, looking at their social media. So for social media itself, the social part that I see is basically, first of all, I'm going to look at their community. First, you want to head over to whatever is linked on CoinMarketCap. Like, for example, this is just a coin that I'm using, for example, Solana itself. we know it went through shit tons of trouble. And after that, from there, if you want to look at it, it's basically looking at, first of all, their Twitter. So you can look at how much followers that they have, and after that, by looking at it, you can see like, okay, so they have 2 million followers. If you scroll down on a tweet itself, there's only 200k views, and after that, from there, there's only like not much likes or whatsoever. So over here, there's 77k views, and after that, from there, like a few likes or whatsoever. So you can see that on average itself, the real investors that is following Solana itself is not really that much. It's basically like maybe only 10% of the followers are true, and the rest is maybe bots or whatsoever. So this can't really determine the social that I want to talk about. So secondly, the social that I want to talk about is basically their source code. If you head over to the GitHub itself, you can basically see like on the activities itself on this particular project, how much development slash ongoing development is going on with this social form of this blockchain itself. If you look at the graph like moving up and down, basically there's activities ongoing. If you look at a graph as that is like stagnant, there's not much activity, thus the developers itself are not trying to do anything to improve or something like that. So this is the second thing that I look at on social itself. So the last social part that I see on a particular project is basically heading on to their Telegram group, their Discord channel, and after that, from there, when you head over there, you can just stay silent, just look at the chat itself. If you see, most of the community chat is talking about Moon, 10x, 20x, and after that, from there, just those degens chat telling you that buy, instead of telling you the real reason that why should you buy, and after that, what can you consider in the future or whatsoever. Like real chat talking in the cryptocurrency space itself, instead of just degens telling you to buy, and after that, from there, be rich, spend your life savings into the project, and after that, from there, you can make fuck tons of money, and you can have this thing called a financial freedom. So I would say that looking at the chat itself or what people are talking itself is very important, and after that, from there, you can understand that this project itself, because to be honest, 50 to 70% of the price action itself is done through, is basically on the community itself. If the community is firm, and after that they know what the project developers are doing, and after that the developers are listening to the community itself, therefore the project will work hand in hand, and of course the price will soar. So I would say, if you see a lot of degens in the chat itself, probably it's not a coin that you want to invest in, because it will be probably like the odds of you researching into it. But over here, looking at the community itself, most probably it's just a gamble for other people. Basically, tons of degens invest into this particular project, and after that, hoping to make a 10x or 20x out of it, and then they will exit the project. Therefore, I would say it's not really a good coin to hold. So look at the community before you jump into it. And of course, from there, the last part itself, where is it listed? How accessible is this cryptocurrency? So the third tip itself is basically, where is it listed? It's simple. Head over to the coin itself and click on markets, and you scroll down, you can see all of the exchanges and the current pair itself that the coin is pegged to. And after, from there, I would say, why is this part very crucial? Because in the crypto space itself, any single moment itself, the project can just collapse, and after that, from there, you want to have a quick way to exit your liquidity or enter your liquidity if, let's say, you heard about news itself. And of course, by doing that itself, you have to look at the top exchanges that is listing this current coin itself. If, let's say, you're looking at this Zakila itself, it is listed on Binance, KuCoin, like Bitfinex, and of course, from there, you can look at the confidence score itself is high, and liquidity score itself is like all very good. Therefore, I would say this coin itself is doable if, let's say, you have passed your check on number 1, number 2 itself, and of course your other due diligence. And of course, lastly, this check itself is to tell you that how accessible is the coin. Is it easy to access, to basically buy into it, and after that to exit your liquidity / position. So I would say this part itself is very crucial. So you do not want to buy like some coins, maybe like this coin, I don't know. Go down, look at markets itself. If you look at this coin itself, it's only liquid on the decentralized exchange itself. You might be thinking that, okay, so it's a DEX, and after that, from there, it's fine, I can basically access my coin. And let's say if you are willing to invest 50,000 or 100,000 into the token itself, looking at the volume itself, you will not have much liquidity to exit. If, let's say, you really want to exit your 2x or 20x worth of gains itself on the project itself. Therefore, I would say looking at the current pairs itself that is listed on the market itself is very important before you jump into the wagon itself. So most of the coin out there is going to basically be listed on DEX itself, because centralized exchange is somehow hard to pass their audit and of course get listed over there. And of course, I believe that there's lots of exchanges out there. I'm not going to mention names, but there's exchanges out there willing to list shit coins / newly developed coins to their existing exchange user to basically tell them that you might make a 20x out of this, and of course from there we are supporting this project, and of course from there we are providing liquidity to you guys. But of course, make sure to know where it's being listed on, and of course do your own due diligence on what kind of exchange is listed on before you basically deposit your funds into the exchange, then do some trades or whatsoever. So bonus tip itself, I would say, lastly, the bonus tip itself is to follow somehow your gut's feeling about this particular project. And of course, if you are uncomfortable investing into whatever project itself, please do not invest. If let's say your gut is telling you no, and after that from there there's somehow a feeling that you're feeling bad about it, and after that from there I would say trust your own guts in this space itself. Do not listen to anyone. And of course you might probably be right, and of course if let's say you are wrong, nothing to lose out. I mean, you just lose maybe like 50x gains or whatsoever. But to be honest, if let's say the project goes down itself, goes to zero, you might be losing all your life savings or partial life saving. But of course you have to just ultimately follow your guts. At the end of the day, it is going to do you well. So to be honest, if let's say you're interested in looking to basically generate passive income the safe way, if let's say you're invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or US Tether, you want to try out Flint Finance to basically do like some option trading, but you do not have the knowledge, less time to do so, Flint Finance itself is here to do it for you. And after that, from there, I would say I've been with Flint Finance for almost like 2 months plus, and after that, I have like invested into their project itself. And after that, I have done lots of videos talking about Flint Finance, and of course I am going to basically use Flint Finance itself as one of my main source of crypto generating platform to basically draw the gains, invest, and after that from there hopefully repeat, and of course make some crazy gains out of the crypto space itself. But at the end of the day, do not listen to anyone. Instead, do your own due diligence, and after that from there, if you're comfortable with the amount you put in and you're not looking at your phone every single hour of throughout the day itself, you are comfortable with the project, and after that from there, it is good that, I mean, like your mental your finance investment health itself is fairly good. And after that from there, I would say do not put what you can't afford to lose, and after that do not put more than you can I mean, yeah, whatever it is, it's the same thing. So I've come to the end of the video. If you like the video, kindly leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notification, and check out my Patreon. Basically, it's all linked down below to support the channel. Gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye. Peace.